the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Heat advisories in effect throughout the DMV today. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall. Tosin has the day off. Well, it's really the hottest day of the week, and it's one to kick off the weekend. Let's take a live look outside at the Washington Monument. It just looks hot and hazy and muggy. We have our team coverage this afternoon. DC News Now's Jean-Marie Cissé and Kevon Dupree. Well, they've been out and about around the DMV talking with people on how they are trying to stay cool. But first, let's head over to meteorologist Damon Matson with a check on the heat. And will this linger over the weekend, Damon? That's the question.
Well, Mark, it's going to at least a little bit, maybe not to the extent we're dealing with today, but yeah, we are now back in this pattern here, folks, with the brutal heat and humidity filling in across the region. Here are those heat advisories we just mentioned. They continue until 8 p.m. It's not going to be until 9 o'clock tonight that we do see that heat index for many of us finally drop back down out of the triple digits. And look at what we are currently dealing with out there. I mean, my goodness, 104 is what it feels like in D.C. Waldorf, 113. Now, I will point out the fact that Manassas, that is significantly cooler than everybody else, and there's a reason for that. In all of this heat and humidity, no surprise here, we are getting a few showers and storms finally crossing the region, and this broken line here across northern Virginia has been the main area of activity, and we haven't really had any severe thunderstorm warnings with this, but we do now on the northern edge of this line. This warning just came out for Fairfax County over into Alexandria. This warning goes until 5:30. This thunderstorm is located over Annandale, Franconia, down to Newington, and it's about to cross I-95. Frequent lightning, heavy rainfall, and some strong wind gusts will be possible with this as it heads on across Mount Vernon, across the Potomac, then into Prince George's County. So we'll keep an eye on this. Things a little active for some of us, just plain hot and humid for the rest. Will we see more heat and humidity or more rain and storms as we head into the upcoming weekend? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. And people are getting pretty creative when it comes to dealing with the heat. DC News Now, Jean-Marie Cissé, live in Northwest. Jean-Marie, how are people staying cool out there?
Yeah, Mark. Well, everybody is really just trying to really take advantage of the heat that they had today. Although it was pretty hot, they still wanted to find cool ways to cool their body down, especially here at the Georgetown waterfront. You can see some families are out here taking advantage of the fountain out here. Although it did feel pretty hot, that didn't stop people from coming out. They just made sure they were prepared.
I'm dripping. I'm super hot.
It is pretty hot.
Whether it's taking a splash, sipping on cold water, grabbing a sweet frozen treat, or bringing your own fan, folks are getting real strategic about staying cool.
My methods use my wet washcloth, have my fan, umbrella, going to the shade, try to just duck and dodge the heat.
Longtime business vendor Denver Hawkins knows it well when it comes to surviving in the heat. He's out here for hours selling his items near the National Mall, taking the sweltering heat head on.
Well, actually, I wasn't going to come to work, The reason why I wasn't going to come because of the weather, but then at the same token, I'm missing out money.
So he showed up dressed for the occasion.
I have white linen pants, I have a white t-shirt on, You gotta dress appropriate for the weather.
And for visitors just soaking up the site, a frozen drink never hurts.
We have been walking from the metro station and it feels hot, really hot today. And these kind of things will really help us.
Others showed up with a game plan. Fan in hand, water bottle on deck, and zero interest in melting today.
I checked the weather and I'm not made for 100 degrees. I already drank up all my water. I've only been out here for like an hour. And I had to bring my sunscreen just to make sure I don't get a lobster.
Yeah, well, the sun is hiding right now, but it's definitely still hot out here. So if you do plan on coming out, make sure that you stay hydrated. Try to stay in the AC as much as possible. Keep a fan on you as much as you can as well. And just relax and enjoy the heat as you can, as much as you can. We're now reporting live in Northwest. I'm Jean-Marie Cissé, DC News Now.
All right, Jean-Marie, thank you. And that's to keep you up to date on all things weather. You can head to our website, dcnewsnow.com, and click on the Weather tab. In the district, community members still buzzing after D.C. leadership announced a deal to bring the Commanders back to D.C. The agreement, which still requires a vote by council, includes a $4 billion development on the RFK Stadium site, features, of course, a new stadium, retail and also residential units. DC News Now's Marielle Carbone live in Southeast for us. And Marielle, obviously you've been speaking to neighbors all day. How are they feeling? Mixed?
Well, Mark, whether they are for this development or against it, a lot of them want the same things. They want investment in their community, improved transit, and more green space. And for those who believe that the stadium can help achieve all of this, they're certainly celebrating as council gets closer to a vote. Blocks from the RFK Stadium, signs like this are popping up across Kingman Park as a tentative deal between D.C. Council leadership and the Commanders to bring the team back home is reached.
I'm glad that we're moving forward. The stadium has just been abandoned. Pieces are falling off.
Neighbor Brittany Carroll is supportive.
The fact they're getting some of the parking taxes back, I think that makes sense.
And sees the stadium as a catalyst for jobs and businesses in Ward 7 and 8.
At the end of the day, we need investment, and I don't know where else that investment would come from.
I'm pretty happy about it.
It's the same for Tam Nguyen. He's a real estate agent with Keller Williams.
My clients that are looking at Capitol Hill, they are pretty confident the deal is going to happen, and that's one of the reasons that they are looking here and making the investment in this community.
Under the new deal, up to $949 million in tax revenue and investment will come back to D.C. Council will vote August 1st, following 2 public hearings next week.
I think the community is definitely feeling a little deflated because it sounds like the hearing is going to be performative.
Laura Nunn is a member of the Friends of Kingman Park. She says the timing of the announcement and vote feels rushed.
If we're taking time to speak to council, we want to feel like they're actually listening to what we're saying and not rushing to this vote.
To feel good about the deal, she'd like to see more environmental and transit commitments written in black and white.
We really want our council members to push back and make sure we get the best deal, we get, the best options for the community.
As far as transit goes, under this new deal, $600 million from a sports facility fee will be dedicated to improving transportation. Mark, for that first Tuesday hearing next week, more than 500 people are signed up to speak. Reporting live from the RFK Stadium site, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, Marielle, thank you. While Council Chair Phil Mendelson says he believes that he has the votes to get the bill passed next week. But today, some council members are pushing back. Ward 6 Council Member Charles Allen writing on X, "We need a better deal." And a large council member, Robert White, calling the deal rushed. He says he'd like to see anti-displacement protections and also project labor agreements included in the deal. In the statement, White says this deal is being sold to the public like it's already done, but the costs are real and they fall on D.C. residents. They are being asked to use public land and public dollars to fund our own displacement. That's the simple truth. A Prince George's County man has been convicted of first-degree murder in the stabbing death of his mother. Prosecutors say 52-year-old Reginald Inglis handcuffed and killed 72-year-old Lorena Royster inside of their Bladensburg home last April. Interim states that attorney Tara Jackson says that verdict brings justice in a deeply tragic case. Inglis faces life in prison. He'll be sentenced in November. Man is dead after a crash in College Park, Maryland. He's been identified as 46-year-old Kenneth Bowie Jr. State police say that it happened around 3:30 this morning near the ramp on the southbound of I-95 and I-495. State troopers say that when they arrived, the car was on fire. Bowie died at the scene. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. And developing now, the Department of Education says that 5 Northern Virginia school districts are violating Title IX. They say the investigation was based on policies that violate sex-based student protections and contain complaints over policies on transgender identifying students. Those schools include Alexandria City Public Schools, Arlington Public Schools, Fairfax County Public Schools, Loudoun County Public Schools, and Prince William County Public Schools. Now, the Department of Ed says they're requiring the districts to get rid of policies on gender identity and make them sex-based along with biology-based definitions of male and female. And DC News Now has reached out to the schools for comment. All schools say that they are committed to maintaining safe and welcoming environment for students. For full statements, you can go to our website. Staying in Virginia, Arlington's auditor, Wayne Scott, is taking a closer look at the county's flood protection efforts to see if millions spent since 2019 flash floods are making a difference. Scott says it is going to start the review later this year as part of his 2026 work plan, checking if past recommendations are being followed. And he'll follow up on public safety, overtime, and housing grants. Board members praise Scott's work so far, calling his first year on the job a big success. Turning to Montgomery County, where downed wires are creating a traffic headache for drivers in Silver Spring. Police say that part of East-West Highway between 16th Street and Sundale Drive was closed for the day. They say that the goal is to reopen tomorrow morning. Officials urging commuters to find alternate routes. Some bad news in Northwest today. Sprig and Sprout in Glover Park is closing their doors this weekend. The statement posted on the website, the owners say that it was one of the hardest decisions to make. They say the restaurant operated without a formal lease or legal protections for at least 3 years. They say that they are being, quote, constructively evicted because the building needs repairs. Sprig and Sprout was open for 13 years and made several lists as one of D.C.'s featured restaurants. Their last day is Sunday, July 27th. Students in Center City Public Schools, charter schools, are getting in on some fun this summer. It's part of a program called Summer Boost. It helps charter school students accelerate in learning with enrichment activities. It's for 3rd through 8th graders, and the classes are led by former students.
I like doing reading and math. We always wanted to play dodgeball, but we have to be good in the other games.
They're getting fun, that summer camp feeling, and they're still learning at the same time, so it's like a plus.
The Summer Boost program is available in 7 cities nationwide.